In the quiet moments of a warm evening, a tiny sound can break the peace. It is a high-pitched buzz, a sound that is known all over our planet. This is the sound of the mosquito, a small insect that many people do not like. They come out when the sun goes down, looking for their next meal. For most of us, their presence means itchy red bumps on our skin. We often wave our hands to push them away, hoping to avoid their persistent attempts to land on us. They seem to appear from nowhere, turning a pleasant evening in the garden into a frustrating experience of constant swatting and discomfort. The reason for this unwelcome visit is a simple one: survival. It is the female mosquito that bites, and she is not doing it to be a nuisance. She needs blood. The blood contains special proteins and nutrients that are essential for her to produce and lay her eggs. Without a blood meal, many species of mosquitoes simply cannot reproduce. So their entire life cycle depends on finding a host, whether that is a human, a bird, or another mammal. It is a fundamental drive, a powerful instinct that has been perfected over millions of years of evolution, ensuring the continuation of their kind across the globe. But the discomfort of a bite is not the only reason people dislike these creatures so strongly. Mosquitoes are responsible for spreading some of the world's most serious diseases. Illnesses like malaria, dengue fever, and the Zika virus are carried by these tiny insects. They pick up a virus or a parasite from one infected person or animal, and then carry it to the next one they bite. This makes them more than just a simple pest. It makes them a significant threat to human health. In many parts of the world, the buzz of a mosquito is a sound that brings with it a genuine fear of sickness and danger. This complex relationship between humans and mosquitoes has a very long history. We have developed many ways to fight them, from simple nets over our beds to complex chemical sprays. We spend a great deal of effort and resources trying to control their populations and protect ourselves from the diseases they carry. Yet, despite all our modern technology, the mosquito continues to thrive. It is a creature that is incredibly adaptable, able to find water to lay its eggs in the smallest of places, from a puddle to a flower pot. Its resilience is a testament to the power of nature, even when that power causes us so much trouble. Let us imagine for a moment a world where that familiar buzz is gone forever. Imagine a world where every single mosquito has disappeared from the face of the earth. The first and most immediate change would be a wonderful one for humanity. The diseases that have plagued us for centuries would suddenly face a major obstacle. Malaria, which is transmitted only by the Anopheles mosquito, might vanish completely. Millions of lives, especially those of young children in Africa and Asia, could be saved every year. Hospitals would have fewer patients suffering from these terrible fevers, and communities could live with less fear. This change would bring enormous relief to people everywhere. Summer evenings could be enjoyed outdoors without the need for repellent sprays or long sleeves. Children could play freely near ponds and lakes without their parents worrying about itchy bites or serious illness. The constant battle against these insects would be over. The money and time we currently spend on mosquito control, on developing new insecticides, and on medical treatments could be used for other important things, like building schools, improving roads, or funding research into other health challenges. It would be a great victory for human well-being and public health. Animals would also feel the benefits of this change. Our pets, like dogs and cats, can get heartworm, a serious disease transmitted by mosquito bites. Farm animals, too, suffer from diseases carried by these insects, which can affect their health and reduce their productivity. Without mosquitoes, these animals would lead healthier lives. Great herds of caribou in the Arctic, which are famously tormented by massive swarms of mosquitoes during their migration, would be able to travel in peace. The constant stress and blood loss they endure would disappear, potentially leading to stronger and larger herds. The relief would be felt across the animal kingdom. Many creatures, from small birds to large mammals, are bothered by the endless biting of mosquitoes. This constant annoyance can cause them to lose weight, change their behavior, and even affect their ability to care for their young. Removing this source of stress could lead to healthier and more stable animal populations in many ecosystems. In this imagined world, a great weight would be lifted not just from human shoulders, but from the backs of countless other creatures with whom we share this planet. It appears, at first glance, to be a perfect solution. However, removing any creature from the web of life is never a simple matter. Every animal and plant has a role to play, even one as small as the mosquito. There are over 3,500 different species of mosquito, and not all of them bite humans. Many of them are a vital source of food for other animals. Countless fish, like the mosquito fish, feed on mosquito larvae as they develop in the water. Dragonflies, frogs, lizards, and spiders all rely on catching and eating adult mosquitoes to survive. For these predators, the sudden disappearance of a major food source would be a disaster. The impact would be especially strong for birds. Many species of birds, such as purple martins and swallows, are insectivores, meaning they eat insects. Mosquitoes can make up a significant part of their diet, especially during the breeding season when they need extra energy to feed their chicks. If all the mosquitoes were gone, these birds would have to find other insects to eat. This could lead to more competition for food, and some bird populations might decline as a result. The beautiful evening song of these birds could become a rarer sound if their food supply suddenly vanished. The role of mosquitoes is not limited to being food. Some species of mosquito are also pollinators, just like bees and butterflies. As they travel from flower to feed on nectar, they carry pollen with them. This is particularly true for certain types of orchids found in the Arctic and other unique environments. These plants have evolved to rely specifically on mosquitoes to help them reproduce. Without these tiny pollinators, these rare and beautiful flowers might not be able to create seeds, and they could eventually disappear forever. This shows how even the most unlikely creature can be essential to the life of another. Furthermore, the sheer number of mosquitoes is staggering. If you were to collect all the mosquitoes in a place like the Arctic tundra, their combined weight, their biomass, would be immense. They are a huge part of that ecosystem. When they die, their bodies decompose and return nutrients to the soil and water, enriching the environment. Removing such a large piece of the natural world would inevitably have consequences that we cannot fully predict. The delicate balance of nature has been built over millions of years, and taking out one piece, even a piece we do not like, could cause the entire structure to shift in unexpected ways. So, we are faced with a difficult question. On one hand, the end of mosquitoes could mean the end of so much human suffering. The possibility of eradicating diseases like malaria and dengue is a powerful and tempting goal. It could save millions of human lives and improve the quality of life for billions more. We could live more freely and with less fear, and dedicate our resources to solving other pressing problems. This is a future that is hard to argue against, a world where a child's life is no longer threatened by the bite of a tiny insect. It is a truly wonderful thought. On the other hand, we must consider the cost to the natural world. Eradicating an entire group of animals could trigger a chain reaction, harming the fish, birds, and other creatures that depend on them for food. We risk silencing the songs of birds and seeing certain plants vanish forever. We do not fully understand all the connections in nature's intricate web. Acting as the architects of such a massive change is a tremendous responsibility, and there is a risk that our solution could create a whole new set of problems. We might solve one problem for humans, only to create many more for the planet we call home. Perhaps the wisest path is not one of complete eradication, but one of careful control. Instead of trying to eliminate all 3,500 species of mosquito, maybe we should focus our efforts only on the few dozen species that are known to spread dangerous diseases to humans. Modern science is developing clever ways to do this, such as creating genetically modified mosquitoes that cannot transmit malaria or that produce offspring that do not survive. This approach would allow us to target the real problem without destroying an entire part of the ecosystem. It is a more precise and gentle solution. Ultimately, the question of what to do about mosquitoes teaches us an important lesson about our place in the world. We have the power to change our planet in profound ways, but with that power comes the need for wisdom and humility. We must look at the whole picture, not just our own needs and desires. The natural world is a complex and interconnected system, and every creature has its part to play. As we move forward, we must think carefully about the consequences of our actions. What do you think is the best way to live alongside nature, to protect ourselves while also protecting the delicate balance of life on Earth?